Hello everyone, I'm Mona Lee Bernhardt and I am an adjunct professor of speech here at Lone Star. I've been here for about 6 years. I've taught online for about 4 years. And today I want to present to you my module of my own that I developed in the Elate Module 1 course. I specifically want to talk to you about 4 main things related to my course. The first is how I structured and how I thought about structuring the course. The second is how I try to make my modules a one-stop shop for students. Third is what I've tried to do to integrate engagement for students. And then finally I want to talk about how I apply Bloom's a little bit in the online learning environment and how it really helped me to think about what to include and not include in my courses. First of all, you're going to see that I have a unit and module structure. So basically I went to the unit structure. A unit is really my shortest course I would teach. So in a 4-week course, I would have 4 units, and they do Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3, Unit 4. And then within each of those units are modules. And so when I extend out to longer courses, it would be Unit 1, 2 modules the first week, or 1 module the first week. So I found that by structuring it that way that it gave me a lot of flexibility in the course. So then within a module, so you'll see that I would have like maybe 15 to 16 weeks of modules in a course. Within each module, I have developed kind of a structure of having the overview on the outside of the module. And then when you go into the module, you're going to see that I have 4 main areas. The first area is just the module overview that will basically have a video and a written overview of the module. Then I have my learning materials of the module. Then I would have some learning activities in the module. And then I would have some resources that the students might need for that specific module. So sometimes I don't actually have it in this module. There'll be kind of, if you want to know more about this topic, type of information right below that resources for the module. But what I do is for each module I keep these areas consistent so that when students, after the first or second week of class, they're seeing the same information over and over and they know what to expect when they come into my classroom. So I find that, I might get a few questions the first week, but after the first week, I don't get any questions. You'll notice that I actually do my module in the checklist so they can check off an activity as they do it. I just started to find that that was the best way to do it based on my specific approach. So one of my approaches to the course is this idea of a one-stop shop for students. So as much as possible, when a student goes into a module, I don't want them to have to look anywhere else in D2L for the information they need. So what you'll see me do is I'll have their videos here, I'll have extra links. I link to whichever assignment they're supposed to be doing. I link to like support pages. Everything's embedded. So if I'm going to use like an external object like Edpuzzle, I make sure it's embedded as part of the course. And so everything they do, you'll see that I give them a link to it. So that they they have everything they need when they go into this page. And even from the resources page, if there's something that they might need, I make sure that they have it there. So I really try to make it a one-stop shop. One of the ways I think that Elate has really helped me is to think about those instructions too as that one-stop shop. So if they don't have to break to ask me a question or ask another student a question. So I'm really trying to work on improving my instructions. I don't want to have too many instructions because I think sometimes if they see too many, they just don't even look at the instructions. But it's finding that balance between the instructions and making sure they have enough but not too much on the instructions. So the next thing I really worked on with this module is engagement. So I've deliberately tried to use color to kind of give it some fun to it and some personality. In my video, I tried to make it where students know and understand my personality a little bit. I have, included the Bitmojis to give some sense of myself being in the course. So those are some ways that I've tried to create, a sense that they know who I am and what to expect of me and what kind of person I am, some actual connection with the instructor. I also always, in every module, make sure that I've got the specific ways to contact me. Once again, that goes back to that one-stop shop. They don't have to, if they need to contact me, they don't have to go find it in the course. So that's one of the things that I do for that. So the next thing that I've really worked on over the last couple of years is to kind of see how Bloom's works in the online environment, because I'm a big believer in class. I kind of chunk things for students and build up to a final product. And it's like, how do I do that online? So one of the things I try to do in the environment is to almost start with like the BOPS model a little bit. So I'm doing my module overview. I'm kind of giving the students the preview and the importance of the module in the module overview. I also give them a few hints, but I'm basically bridging into the module with this first little quick video in the class. And so once I've kind of gotten their attention on why visual aids are important and some of those things, what I do is now I'm into the understanding. So my learning materials are what do they need to understand and remember. So I'm at that lower level of Bloom's. What do you need to understand and remember to do well in this part of the course, okay? So then, after they've gotten the activities that or the information they're going to need to understand and remember, I move them on to understanding, remembering, and starting to apply the information. So they're going to go into a role play type activity that helps them apply the information. They're going to do the quiz that helps them remember, understand, and apply the information. And then what I do is I end the course with the higher level of Bloom. So now they've remembered, understood, applied. Now I'm going to ask them to analyze, evaluate, and create. So that's where my main assignment ends up in the course every time, which is at that higher level of Bloom's. So for example, in this assignment, they're going to take all the learning that they've applied. They're going to go get some visual aids that they've done in the past, which are not going to be exemplary examples based on the material that we've learned. They're going to analyze them, evaluate them, and determine how to improve them. And then they're going to create a new set of slides, and then they're going to develop a presentation showing basically their learning from their old set of slide decks to their new. They're basically going to compare the old to the new slides that they develop. So they're going to basically end up at the higher level of Bloom's as a result of the way the module is organized. And so when I started thinking about Blooms in that way related to the online environment, it really helped me make decisions about where each module should be going, and to take out some things and to include others. So before I end, I just want to point out just a couple things that I've really learned in the course. I've really learned much better on instructions and being more detailed in the instructions, especially on assignments that are less rote. So much more detailed on the discussion board types assignments. One of the things I have recently started doing in my classes and found that students gave much better responses to discussion boards is to start them off with basically a sentence stem. So you can see here I give them different types of stems to start them on how their discussion should go. And I found that it creates a much more meaningful discussion. It teaches them the right way to maybe disagree. So I'm kind of modeling behavior for them in this way. So that's kind of what my module's about. It's a little bit about structure, really a lot about one-stop shop for my students, and really trying to engage them, and then really trying to think about Blooms and how you put that into the online learning environment. So I really appreciate the opportunity for late, and thank you guys for reviewing my material. You guys have a great day.